Hey everyone, MTH Pine, and welcome back to my Screeps Nooby guide. Today we're gonna talk about long distance harvesting. At some point in your Screeps life, your code will be efficient enough and your creeps will be powerful enough to deplete your energy sources quicker than they refill. At that point, you have to look for other energy sources. For example, energy sources in other rooms, like this one over here. So in this video, I want to demonstrate a very simple technique to harvest those energy sources which are not in your first room. This is not the most efficient way, but this series is not about showing you the perfect code for Screeps. It's about showing you or giving you some ideas what you can do and how you can do it, and then hopefully you will take those ideas and make better code and find more efficient ways to do the things required to play the game. So we will find a very easy way of harvesting other sources like this one, and that is we will spawn a new creep role called the long distance harvester, which does basically the same as the regular harvester. Go to an energy source and refill extensions, spawn, and tower. But instead of going to one of the local energy sources, it will go to an energy source in another room. The biggest, well, not necessarily problem, but one important thing for that is that you probably want a specific body constellation for this creep, because as opposed to the regular harvesters, it's moving quite a bit over non-road terrain. So it will go into another room where there are no roads. You can obviously build roads there if you want to. That's one way to improve this, for example. But it has to travel a pretty long distance, and therefore working parts are not as important, because it's more important that he can travel this distance fairly fast and carry a lot of energy instead of harvesting the energy quickly. So we have to create a new kind of body. So the first thing we're going to do is create a new function in the prototype spawn file. So we have the create custom creep function in here, which creates a creep with the same amount of, or same number of work, carry, and move parts. And now we're going to create a new one, which we call create long distance harvester or something along those lines. Structure spawn prototype create long distance harvester. There we go. And this will be a function, and we will have some parameters. We will think about those in a moment. Let's finish this function first. There we go. Okay, that's the function. So what do we need? Well, we need energy, obviously, and we don't need a role. We know the role already. So let's go with energy for now. We will add more along the way. Okay, so we want a certain number of body parts, of work parts, and then move and carry parts. And we need one move part per other work or carry part. So actually, that's the second parameter already, because depending on how far the energy source is away, you want a different amount of, or a different number of work parts. So we're gonna just have a variable here, number of work parts. And we're going to use that to add some work parts. So we create a body. Let's copy some code from here, because that's basically the same thing. So there we go. We add a bunch of work parts to the body. That's the first thing we do. So, okay. Now we want to add carry and move parts. So let's do that. We copy those arrays, loops. And we need the variable number of parts now. So let's create that number of parts. And we have to calculate it. Up here we did energy divided by 200. 200 is the combined costs of a work, a carry, and a move part. So this time we only build carry and move parts. So instead we do energy, or math floor. We should do the same as up there. Math.floor energy divided by 100, because carry and move both cost 50. So that's the combined number of energy for those parts. So as mentioned earlier, though, we want one move part per carry or move part. So we need more moves, because now we have the same amount of moves as carries, but we don't have moves for the work parts. So we increase this loop by adding oops, that's not a plus sign, there we go, number of work parts here. And now we have one more problem. This calculation is still rubbish, because it doesn't account for the energy we use for the work parts and the additional move parts. So we have to decrease this number, or the energy variable, before we do this calculation. What we have to do is we have to decrease it here by saying by reducing it by 150 every time we add another work part. Well, we could actually, no, that's actually not a good way of doing it. Let's reduce it by 150 times number of work parts. Okay, because one work part costs 100, one move part costs 50. So we have number of work parts, number of work parts work parts, and number of work parts move parts. That's 150 times number of work parts, and then the rest can be used for the number of parts variable for the carry and move parts. Okay, cool. So this is the body creation. This is not necessarily the best way of doing it, but it's a very simple way. Instead, you could, for example, give the number of work parts as a percentage, like every fourth part should be a work part or something along those lines. That would be that would scale better if your energy, your GCL increases and you can create bigger creeps, so you don't have to adjust the number of work parts. But since you have to handpick that anyway, kind of, well, you could do some calculations based on path length, I guess, but I will not do that right now. So I will handpick those numbers anyway, so I can adjust them as well if we create bigger creeps. But yeah, that would be an improvement, for example. So last line, we need to create a creep. There we go. So body, yeah, name is undefined. Role will be long distance harvester. Working false, that's good. We're going to use the working variable as well. And we want to give it some more information though. First, the creep needs to know his home room, so he can go back to it, and he also needs to know the room he should go to. So we need two new variables in the memory, home and target. We have to provide them to the function. So let's add them here first. Home, target, and just put them in here. Let's actually break it every line. There we go. Home target, and then I think it's convenient to have one more parameter, which is the source ID, because the room you want to harvest from might have more than one source. So you want to tell the creep which source he should go to. You could just use find closest source, but I think that's not as efficient as just like you're defining the things by hand anyway, so you can define the source as well. So that makes sense in my opinion. So okay, that's the spawn part. Okay, now that we have that, let's actually create the role. We do that by copying the harvester. So copy and paste. There we go. Now we have a copy. We rename it to role. Actually, let's do it this way. Role long distance harvester. There we go. Open it up, and we only have to adjust this a little bit. Okay, so the other part is the state switching. That stays the same. We don't have to touch this. Now, in the case that the creep is working, so he's supposed to go back to the main room and deliver energy. We have to check if the creep is either in the home room already. In that case, we can just execute this code here, and if not, we have to go to that room. So we add another if condition up here. If creep.room.name is equals to creep.memory.home. If that's the case, we just do the code in here. And if that's not the case, then we have to go to the home room. Okay, how do I move creeps between rooms? Well, there are two ways. The easy way is if you know something, like if you know an object in the room, you can just, like in the room you want to go to, you can just tell the creep to go there, and he will go to that. He will find a path to that room. For example, we could do creep.move to, now just say game spawns spawn 1, for example. No, that's not. No, that's not. No. That's not what we want to do. Wait, we could do that, but that's not what we want to do. We want him to move to the home room. So we have to check the rooms object and put in here creep.memory.home. There we go. And now we could pick the controller of that room, and the creep would move there. That would work. However, if you don't have anything in that room, if you don't have vision in that room, because you don't have a creep in that room or a building, then this will return undefined and will not work. So the more appropriate way of doing this is to look for an exit to a certain room. So we create a new variable. This would work in the case of going back to the home room, obviously, because we always have vision in the home room. But let's write it the proper way, because we need it down in the other tree, in the other conditional branch anyway. So to find an exit to a room, you have to use a function called on room, I think. No, on pos, on room, on pos, I think. Find. Well, let's actually check, because I'm not sure. We go to the references. I think it's on room. Find exit 2. There we go. So it's not on pos, it's on room. Room, find exit 2. For some reason, the autocomplete doesn't work for that. I'm not sure why. It should, actually. But it doesn't. Not sure. Anyway, so find exit 2. And now we have to put in the name of the room here, which is simply creep memory. Oops. Creep. What the fuck? God damn it. Memory home. There we go. So this will give us the exit. And now we can just tell the creep to move to, well, this will give us a number. This will give us not an exit, but this will give us a constant. Like, it gives us a return value, which we can use now to find the exit. It's a little convoluted, the API for this, but it works like this. Creep move to creep.pos.find closest. Why is the autocomplete not working? I'm not sure why the autocomplete is not working. I'm gonna have to look into that. For some reason it doesn't. Find closest by range is the code anyway. And then you pass it the exit. This is a little convoluted API. I'm not sure why it is that complicated. Why can we not just say move to and give it a room? But we can't do that. So you have to go this way. And make it a little bit more complicated. So you find the exit you want to pick, and then you have to find a path to the exit. Not really the path. You find the object. Like, this doesn't really give you the exit. That doesn't return the exit. Just returns a value, like a number that defines which direction. Like, there are 4 constants defined in the game object for the different exits of a room. So in which direction he should leave. And it will just give you back that constant, which is, I think, just a number. And basically, if you give this number to the find closest by range or the find closest by path function, it will look for that exit. It knows what to do. It's similar to the find source active constants, for example, stuff like that. Or find creep or whatever. Those constants you're looking for, using for finding. Okay, so that's what we do. That's actually it for the upper part already, and the lower part is very, very similar. So if we are in the home room, fine, we just do the regular harvester stuff. If we're not in the home room, we find the exit to the home room and move towards it, and switch to the other room. Makes sense. Okay, so what if we are in the false branch, in the not working branch? So we are actually going for looking for the source right now. Well, in that case, we're not checking if we are in the home room, and instead we're checking if we are in the other room, the target room. Target. If that's the case, we just do the same thing as the regular harvester would do, looking for well, not quite the same thing. We want to change that. So find no, we go creep. I think the room has to find function, right? Wrong window, sorry. Yeah, that one. I want that one. So creep creep room dot find, and then find sources. This will give us an array, and we pick one specific source of those sources, which is defined by the source ID defined in the creep's memory. So source ID. There we go. I think that's what I call it, right? Source ID, yeah. I guess a better way would actually be not ID, but index. I think that makes more sense. Because it's not really an ID, it's just an index. So we do that. and then we just go to the source and try to harvest it. Well, the other way around. We try to harvest it. If you're not in range, we move towards it. Okay, so what though if we are not in that room? Well, we do the same thing as above. We move towards the room. So let's just copy that code. There we go. And change this to target. And there we go. And that's it. So that was pretty simple. And now we just have to add all the stuff we need here, obviously. Var roll long distance harvester require roll dot long distance harvester semicolon. There we go. And now we have to create one. So I think it's a good idea to have a variable called home, which defines the name of our home room. On my private server, that is W2 and 5. So let's take that. That makes it a little easier to reuse that. Well, to change it if you want to, if you use it at multiple points. We use it once already here, so let's change that to home for the tower. And now we're going to use it again to spawn the long distance harvesters. Okay, so we do it similar to the other roles. We add another variable, minimum number of long distance harvesters. Let's just say, well, actually I want to do it a little bit different. I want to have variables for every room I send a harvester towards. So the first one will be this one. Well, actually, let's do that in a moment. Let's just start with this. Let's just start simple. So minimum number of long distance harvesters. There we go. Okay. And now we just add another one of those thingies down here to the spawning code. Not sure why the comment got indented. Number of wall repairs. No, that's obviously not the. Oh yeah, we forgot to. We obviously need this one as well. Well, let's take the harvester. Don't have to type that much in that case. Of long distance harvesters. Long distance harvester. There we go. Okay, so let's copy it so we don't mistype. Number of long distance harvesters compared to minimum number of long distance harvesters. And if we don't have enough, we're gonna spawn one. So create long distance harvester. Why is the autocomplete not working? Wait, let me check if references looks good. Okay, update a little more stuff, but not sure what's going on here. Anyway, so let's take a look at the function. So actually there is a neat feature in Visual Studio where you can say new vertical tab group. There we go. It's very small now. Maybe we do a horizontal tab group. I think that makes more sense. There we go. Let's make it a little smaller. We just need the definition of the function. So energy, number of work parts. Energy is just energy. Number of work parts. Let's just go with 5 for the moment. You have to basically figure that out, like depending on how far the source is away. The further it is away, the lower you want this number to be. The closer it is, the higher it should be, because then the path is shorter. So the creep will not move as long. So the working gets more important again. Then we need home, which is our new variable home. Now we need to define a target. We're gonna define the room to our left, which is W3 and 5. There we go. And then we need a source index. There's only one source in that room, so we go with 0. And I hope I didn't miss it. Oh yeah, I missed one important thing, obviously. So this is the spawning. That works as the regular spawning as well. And obviously we need to do one more thing, which is move the creep. If creep is a long distance harvester, call long distance harvester script. Why is it fucking up the indentation? I don't know. If creep no, there's a roll missing. There we go. I think that should do the trick. I hope I didn't miss anything. Okay, let's press save. Switch over to the room and see if it breaks. Okay, the console is that. No, that's an old. Yeah, we fixed that already, I think. Apparently saved too early, so this seems to work right now. Let's type something in here. Game.creeps. Yeah, okay, so it's not getting more error codes right now, so we fixed that already. So no core errors. There we go. Now we have errors. Minimum number of long distance harvesters is not defined. Okay, that's bad. Did I mistype? Minimum number of long distance harvesters. Minimum number of long distance harvester. Haha. There we go. Okay. So I assume the new creep is not a long distance harvester now. I fear. What's the new one? Olivia. Oh, it's not out yet. It's probably not a long distance harvester because I fucked up the spawn code. I want to see it in action though. It will take a while to refill those extensions though. So let's see. Maybe. Where is she? Olivia. There we go. Creep. Doesn't look like one. No, it's a repairer. Okay, unfortunate. Anyway, that gives us time to set up the code to harvest from 2 different rooms. And also let's reduce the number of harvesters, because if we have long distance harvesters, we need less regular harvesters. So I can harvest from this room. We could send multiple creeps to this room, but it's probably not a good idea because only one creep at a time can access the source. And if they block each other, they wait for each other, which gets pretty inefficient. I would start with 1, and then you can add more if you see it works with more than 1. But I would be careful because like they have to. The thing is, the creep is only worth it if he brings back enough energy. Because keep in mind, creating the creep costs a lot of energy already, and it only lives for 1,500 ticks. So if it's not making the full distance, like going back and forth enough times, it was not worth to create the creep in the first place. So if the less efficient they get, the more risk, the longer they take because they block each other or whatever, the less efficient they will be. So I would be careful and just start with 1, and if you see it works fine, add another one and see if they start blocking each other or if it works now, if they get along with each other. But for now, I think it's a better idea to just send another one down into this room because there are the sources here as well, which is a little further away, and there's a bunch of swamp in the well, I guess we can find a road without going through the swamp. So this should not be too big of a deal, but it's a little further away, so it will take a little longer, so we probably put less work parts in there. So, okay. I think we just add another variable here. Minimum length of distance harvesters for W3 and 5. And then we copy this. And I think the room is called 2-4. Yeah, 2-4. There we go. And now we have to change this a little bit, obviously. So number of long distance harvesters W3 and 5 and W2 and 4, and we have to adjust the filter a little bit. Can we do this without it clipping out of the window? Not very well. Well, let's do it this way. Okay, and and c.memory.target is W3 and 5. There we go. Do the same for this one. So we do not only check for the role, but also for the target. 2 and 4. Names look alright. There we go. Okay. Now we go down here. God damn it. Why is it doing this? I don't know. A little weird. Not enough harvesters for W3 and 5. For W2 and 4. So if we yeah, we do the same thing just for another room. So we should now get one who's going for this room and one who's going for this room. And we want to reduce. Let's reduce it to 4. Maybe 3. No, let's go with 4. It takes forever if you reduce to harvest the source. If you reduce the number too far. Actually, the source is pretty far away. Let's go with 3. There we go. Let's take a look if we are spawning already. We got Riley. Maybe he's over here already? No. We got Riley and Jonathan. Okay, Jonathan is a war repairer apparently. I don't see Riley. Oh, Riley is spawning right now. He might be a long distance harvester. Let's see. I hope he is, so we can demonstrate, or we can check if it works actually. I tried this before, but now I had to remind the code, so I remember the code, so I'm not quite sure if I did everything right. Oh yeah, let me explain one thing while we wait. You might have noticed that there is a default up here. Like I have 2 different web pages now down here. That's a neat feature or a neat way in Visual Studio to organize your code. You can have one solution which includes multiple websites or projects, and I have basically one website for every different branch in my for this server. So if we take a look here, I have 2 branches, default and newbie guide. We're on this one. If we open a local folder, you can see that there are 2 folders, and those are the 2 projects in the Visual Studio solution, which I named Screeps Private Server. That's quite neat, a good way to organize those things. Wait, we spawned a creep. Where's Riley? Did he leave already? Was I too slow? No. Where's Riley? There he is. It doesn't seem to be a long distance harvester, unfortunately. I guess we required a regular harvester first. A builder, actually. Okay. Well, you know what we're going to do. I'm just going to wait here. I'm going to cut this out later in editing with an editing software. Cut out the boring part. And then demonstrate to you that this code is actually working, hopefully. Okay. See you in a moment. Okay. Turns out I did something wrong. I was suspicious because there were so many creeps already, so I was wondering, it created builder, which is the default fallback. Maybe I did something wrong. So what I did is, to double check, is I used this, copied this part to count the builders and put that in the console, and I got a 5. So that's way too many builders. So apparently it didn't call my code. So I took a little closer look, and highlighted the variable here, and then I realized, wait. It's the same variable as this one. I did something wrong here. This should not be minimum number. This should be number, and the same for this one. So I screwed that up. Yeah. As usual, I do something wrong. And apparently we just missed another spawn. They're pretty quick in spawning right now, though, so it should not be too big of a deal. Well, as soon as the sources refill. This one is coming back in 20 seconds. I have room controller level 4, so my creeps are pretty big, so they're pretty good at, they're pretty efficient at filling up the extensions. Let's just hope that one of the harvesters is getting to the source as quickly as possible. Let's see, is he in a harvester? Memory. Yes, okay, that's good. So he will refill the extensions in a moment, and I hope he has enough energy to refill all of them. Probably not, actually. He can only carry 300. That's probably not enough. That's 6 extension or something. I reduced the number of harvesters to 1 as well, so that's not great. Okay, I guess I just make another cut here and see you later as soon as it spawned a long distance harvester. Hopefully. Okay, be right back. Okay, we're back, and we finally got a long distance harvester. Well, it's not there yet, but it's spawning already. So the creep spawning right now is called Matthew. If we take a look here in the memory, the role is long distance harvester, and he's going to go to the room to the left. Let's see if that works. So he's spawning in a few seconds, and then we're gonna see him in action. Hopefully. Okay. Only a few seconds left, and come on. I'm running out of words. There we go. There he is. Okay, let's select him and see. Yeah, it looks good. He's heading straight to that rampart to go through the left exit. And he's stopped. No, there we go. Oh, yeah, he's on swamp. I should probably build some roads there. Let's do that. Well, let's take a look first here. So he gets out here. Now he's moving to that source. Okay, looks like it works. Great. Let's build some roads there, because he will have to move through that a few times. One road is probably enough. Yeah. Okay. It's important to not to build too many roads, because if you do so, if you build too many roads, you will have to supply them. Well, not supply them, but maintain them, because they decay over time. So yeah, make sure you don't have roads that are not actually necessary. I probably could remove a few here. Actually, no, not right now. Maybe later, because right now I need 2 lines of roads here to make my creeps move correctly. But that probably will change as soon as I get less creeps, because they get bigger. So yeah, it seems like it works. He's moving back. There we go. He's coming back. What's his time to live? Oh yeah, we should build a road there as well, actually. Can we do that? I guess we can. I think I just did, hopefully. Wait, let's check. Did it? Construction site for road. Yeah, good. Okay, select Matthew. So, okay, this took him like a little bit over 100 ticks. Well, pretty much 100 ticks, actually. Yeah, 100 ticks. And he can carry 250 energy. So he will do this around 15 times. 15 times 250 is like 2,500 plus another 1,000, 3,700 something or so. Wait, is that correct? Like, it's more than enough to make him worth there, because I think he costs in production like 2,000 or something along those lines. So he should make up for himself, which is good. And well, hopefully the one that goes to the lower room will do the same. I think we're spawning one right now. Let's check Sarah. Well, she's coming out there in a moment. Let's just click her and see where she goes. There we go. Creep, right direction. Yeah, that seems to work as well. Cool. We need some roads there, obviously. So let's do that as well. Road in the rampart and there, to make her move quicker as well. And she's actually taking that route. Well, why not? Makes sense. So she goes like something like that. You could probably build some roads here to speed that up, or as much now, you could build roads the whole way, the whole path, fill the whole path with roads, and change the number of move parts on the creep to make it more efficient. So yeah, but this is a very simple, as mentioned, not the most efficient way, not by far, but a very simple way of harvesting energy sources from other rooms. So this is your first step in another room. I think that's a pretty important step, and from here on, it gets more complicated. So I'm not sure what the next topic will be exactly. Maybe colonizing another room. Not sure. Maybe I just improve the harvesting part of the game, because just having harvesters running from sources to extensions is not a very efficient way of doing things. Actually, there are more efficient ways of doing that. But I don't want to touch that right now. So I'm not sure. I'm going to decide. You might be surprised that this video is out already, actually, because I mentioned that I'm pretty busy right now, and I was surprised as well that I have the time to do this. I will not have the time for the next few days, so don't expect the next video before sometime next week, hopefully, because I will not have time to do anything for the next few days. But that gives me a lot of time to actually think about what to do. And also, I will actually be back on the main server for the next episode, probably, because the developers of Screeps are nice guys, and they decided they like my videos, and so they just gifted me 3 months of the subscription. So that's pretty cool of them, and that allows me to go back to the main server, which will be interesting, but I don't want to activate that before I have time to actually play, which will be hopefully next week. So, yeah. See ya in 1 week, I hope. I'm TH Pine. Thanks a lot for watching. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I plan on doing more scripts, but I also do a lot of other videos, mostly covering various indie games, either with blind first impression videos or with more in-depth videos, like kind of reviews. I don't want to call them reviews, but they're just, a lot of people call them reviews, so I guess that describes them well enough. Anyway, thanks for watching, have fun, and see you next time.